Good evening and welcome to another episode of Confidence Culture Conversations. We've been away for 2 weeks, so I must say we're glad to be back. Kirubai, how are you doing?
That's the question you always ask me. Well, the weather is not great, but you know what? When your hearts are warm, why bother about the weather? Got to keep
When your
myself
heart is
happy
warm.
and motivated despite the weather.
I love that. I love that. Absolutely. We shouldn't let the weather determine whether we are
Mm,
going to have a good day or not.
That's right. The weather should never determine the way we feel, and it's all in the state of mind. So being cold and windy, the wind. So
Mm.
just sitting in the house and as one will do, reflect. We're going to do a lot of reflection today about our past episodes. So I thought, why not? Just reflect and have a go at it at 7 o'clock. So Elizabeth, what have you been doing these last 2 weeks?
What have I not been doing?
Good question.
Do you know what? It's been an amazing 2 weeks because I feel like I've been up to a lot. So we had the conference in Blackpool, which we both went for, and that
Yes,
was
we did.
amazing. Yeah, that was really good. Do you know what? One of my highlights of going to Blackpool was just sitting and overlooking the seaside
Mm,
and just being in the moment because I did a lot of that, and it was really good. It was really refreshing, and it was such a moment to pause and just be. So yeah, it was really good. So I've had that. What else did I do? Oh, I was in Bristol on anti duties, looking after my nephew, spending time with my mum. So that was really good as well. Um, and Milton Keynes on Saturday for Africa Day. So happy Africa Day on Monday for everyone. I think today's Children's Day or something. So happy Children's Day. So that's a little bit about what I've been up to. Kirubai, what's your story?
well, my story is, I mean, Blackpool was good. It was sad in the sense, there's so much more improvement you can do on in Blackpool. It's such a lovely stretch of beach.
It is.
It's a lovely stretch of beach, and I was quite appalled by the way the so-called town is,
Hmm.
and um, and there were no proper and eating places. Most of the places are closed at 9:30.
It could do with some regeneration.
Exactly. And I
Mm.
think the the town council has to put in some money and v- revive that beautiful place. And the highlight, one of the highlights is sitting on the tram and going from one end to the other. It was fun.
Imagine.
It shows the whole stretch of the sea line, and it's beautiful. Just looking
Mm.
out of the tram, and it's so inexpensive. And one of the things I found in Blackpool, people were very friendly.
That's good.
Yeah, especially the people, the conductor, the drivers in the tram. They were so friendly and helpful, and yeah, it was great. Great being there, and I would definitely echo the fact that being in that environment of 500 women, it just
Mm.
got me. I know you were right in front. I was right at the back, enjoying my space and just being in the moment and listening, receiving, being in the moment. And it
Mm.
was great. Yeah, of course, we got back and, you just jump into the run of things. And yes, last week was very quiet and I'm having visitors now and, you know, getting ready to go to Malaysia.
Yes, yes. Getting ready to jet off and leave the
Yes.
rest of us.
So, getting ready and it's never ending packing
Mm.
and taking in, taking out, taking out. So it's one of those things. Yeah, Elizabeth. not very productive, I must say, but you know what? It has to be done.
As long as you're making some sort of progress, that's the key thing.
You know, even though I teach people how to pack, I mean for their vacation or cruises or whatever, what not to wear or what to take. You know, when it comes to myself, half my half my luggage is full of gifts for people in Malaysia, and then I take a couple of items for my own.
Mhm.
But that's the way we are, I suppose. You know, I'm sure when you travel back, it's the same thing. Minimum, it becomes so minimal in my clothes and my needs.
I guess it's also the kind-heartedness that you have, Kirubai, to
I know.
sacrifice your suitcase space.
But you know what? I have the clothes I can't wear there because it's so hot. You got to dress appropriately.
Mm, mm.
Mm. And the sun just dries up your clothes. You wash, and the afternoon is all dry. So you
We
don't
need
need many
we
many
need some of
different.
that sunshine here in the UK.
Sorry.
So please send some when you go. Send some
Oh, I
sunshine.
definitely, if I could package it, I will definitely send all the sun that we get in Malaysia to you guys, because you know what? This nation needs a lot of sunshine.
Mm.
Mm. So I think there's an exciting news that you want to share about Milton Keynes.
Yes, yes, there is. Absolutely, absolutely. So we are coming to the city of Milton Keynes on 7th of June. In fact, we are planning to be there for the weekend. So Milton Keynes, prepare the red carpet, right? We are bringing the Kingdompreneurs Summit to Milton Keynes. Let me see if I can
Mhm.
share the flyer.
Yes,
Here
please
it
do.
is.
Wow.
We've
Look at
got
that.
some
Look at that. Look at all the speakers.
amazing. It's an amazing lineup of speakers. So we have some keynote talks, we have some panel sessions, we have some interview sessions. It is going to be amazing. So if you haven't yet got your ticket, I don't know what you're waiting for. Go and get
Mhm.
your ticket. We've currently got a 20% off offer going on. So you need to get your ticket. And if you are a business owner, you've got products and services that you want to exhibit, this is an opportunity for you to be a vendor. So you can sponsor the event or you can be a vendor. And being a vendor literally means that for I think the fee is reduced to £140 and you can bring someone else for free, and you get to have a table where you can present your items, and you get to have a few minutes to pitch your products and services to the whole room. So you
Hmm.
can't go wrong. You just cannot go wrong. I see Kingdompreneur Summit as an investment for anyone who comes. And I know, Kirubai, you have been coming like every single time we've had it. You've been coming. And I'm sure you can attest
Yes.
to Kingdompreneur Summit and what happens in that room.
Maybe I should share it now.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. Please do.
So a couple of years ago, that was the first time I met Elizabeth face to face, even though we got connected on Facebook. But when Elizabeth says that you need to be in that room, because Elizabeth and Tunji, Elizabeth's better half, they put up a great show. The speakers they bring into the room are phenomenal. They speak, they talk, they talk their language that, it is so, so important to hear as business owners, as um, entrepreneurs, or even somebody who really wants to start a side hustle. It's good to be there and to learn from others how they have started, how they have struggled. They have first-hand experience to share, and just getting the vibes. Oh my God, the vibes are great. And then there's a wall of fame where you can take your pictures. I love that. And meeting, connecting, collaborating, communicating. There's a lot of things that can take place from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and is going for a song. 20% of what they pitched them the prizes. But you know what? Go and meet some amazing people. See, again, look at the lineup. Look at that lineup. Look at the amazing lineup, each carrying a nugget or two to empower the audience.
Absolutely. Go and register. Get your ticket. Send the links to other people. Let them register. Don't be selfish and come by yourself. Invite someone else. I think one of the beauties of the Kingdompreneurs Summit is that you go away and you're challenged. Like when you leave the summit, you are challenged to go away and do something. I was just reflecting on last year's summit, and I say to Tunji that I can look back and every year, like I've not gone back to the summit the same person. There's been a difference, and even just looking at last year and what has happened in like the last 12 months. So just to share a little bit, um last year one of the people in the room was a young lady all the way from Dublin. And I sat there and I thought to myself, she came all the way from Dublin just for our event. Like I was challenged. And so a few days later, I was online and I saw a Kingdom Entrepreneurs event advertised in Dublin. And
Oh yeah,
I
you
was
went.
like, hang on. So this young lady came all the way from Dublin for our event. I'm going to go all the way to Dublin for this people's event, right? So I put the date in my diary and I was like, I'm going for this event. I registered, um, and I booked my flight. I said I'm going for the day. And as the date approached, the event got cancelled. The event was postponed. Literally, I think it was 3 days to the event. It was cancelled. And I say to myself, hang on a minute, do I go? Do I not go? Do I look at the airfare being wasted or do I go to Dublin for the day? And this is what me and my husband did. We went on social media and we searched for events in Dublin. This is why it pays to promote on social media. So we searched events in Dublin and we found an event that I could go to, the Impact Leadership Conference, which was hosted by Shay and his team. And so I registered and I said, I'm going. So I went to Dublin and I got to the event and I said, guys, I'm here, but I was meant to be at another event, but I'm here all the way from London. Now, if the young lady who came to Kingdompreneurs Summit hadn't come, I don't know if I would have been provoked to go to Dublin, right? But I was. And actually, I went and attended the Impact Leadership Conference. And then just a couple of weeks ago, they had the Impact Leadership Conference in London, and I was one of the speakers. So it just like it shows you, like, if you go away and take action. And last year, our theme was scale up. So it was about like literally getting out of your comfort zone and upping your game. So I had to up my game and I did. Now, this year, our theme is dominate. Like the word itself carries some oomph. You don't just say dominate without attitude. Dominate comes with some attitude, right? Yes, Tunji, boldness and faith. We need boldness and faith. So even as we're talking about dominating, we're going to need that boldness and faith. So I am looking forward to meeting new people in the room. We were at an event on Saturday in Milton Keynes and we got to meet some amazing people. One of the ladies that we spoke to, she is the CEO of Wild Vision. So it was amazing. There were some dignitaries. The mayor of Milton Keynes was in the room. We also met, in fact, Janaya had a conversation with I think she's called, let me not get this title wrong, the first sheriff, she's called, of Buckinghamshire. So it was nice to just interact with people in the area. And we say, guys, we are coming in 2 weeks time, so you better prepare yourselves. One of the councillors in the room said Milton Keynes is a city of opportunities. So we are bringing the opportunity of Kingdompreneurs Summit to Milton Keynes. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. The link has been shared in the comments. Please click the link, register, join us, invite someone else, bring them along, and yeah, let's connect. Let's make this happen. If you want more information, please reach out to me. If God impresses it on your heart and you want to sponsor the event, happy days. We are welcoming sponsors. I don't know if I'm yet allowed to announce some of the sponsors that we've had, but we watch our Instagram page, right? Or watch my Facebook page for more information, or even LinkedIn. Right, Kirubai, let's get into today's conversation.
Let's kickstart our conversation. So, one of the things we Elizabeth and I thought is to reflect on all our past episodes. Just take snippets of what. Oh, Jackie's online. Hi, Jackie. So we thought we'll go down memory lane. So one of the conversations that we had is the power of reflection in itself.
Mm,
So today, as we reflect on, I mean, I reflect from episode 1 to today's episode 97, right?
yes.
And I personally have grown in my storytelling and my communication. So I'm not shy to say that. But initially, when I went on my first episode, I was like, oh my God, trying to pick words up from the air. But today, I'm extremely confident of who I have become you know, over this podcast and speaking
Mm.
my mind and, agreeing to disagree and being assertive, and a lot of attitude in my thoughts have really resurrected. So that's one of my reflections that I want to say. This podcast has really got me going. I'm owning the stage today.
I love that. I love that. And you know what, Kirubai? It's evident. The growth is evident, because one of the things that helps us to grow is when we take action on something.
Mhm.
And, if there is an area that you want to grow in, start to take some action. So, for example, if you want to grow as a speaker, right? If you want to become a better communicator, start to put yourself out there, put yourself in situations where you are having to speak, where you're having to communicate. I tell people, like, if you want to grow in your speaking, do videos where you are speaking, because that is going to help you. It's practice. Like, indirectly you might not see the growth, but over time, like Kirubai says, we can look back to episode 1 and look back now to episode 97, and the conversations we are having, you can see the evidence of the growth. So I really love that. I really love that, Kirubai.
I think I got to plug this in, Elizabeth. For those who do not know or know this, we don't pre-prepare.
Mm,
We put we put the subject matter out or the topic, and then of course before we come online or on go live, we always do a little bit of research on the topic, and then we just speak. And I have heard people ask me, do you all rehearse your podcast? And I say no. It is, we speak off the cuff, and there is a synergy that goes on.
mm.
Yes, initially took some time to adjust, but I think we are there. But taking action, I love that. Taking action. It's all about taking action. And practice makes perfect. Keep
Absolutely.
practicing and practicing and practicing.
Very true. No, that's really good, because the thing about practice as well, Kirubai, just to add to what you said, it's not just about the practice, but it's also the reflection on the practice. So you
Mm.
show up one day, you show up 2 days, 3 days, you take a step back, you pause, you reflect. How did I do? Could I do better? What can I change? You watch yourself back. I know some people don't like watching their own videos or hearing their own voices, but it pays to do that, because sometimes it shows you what you could change. It shows you how you could be better. So
Mhm.
so yeah, it's been a journey of growth. I think from day one, it's been about growing in different aspects. So that's really good. Did you have another one, Kirubai, or did you want to jump to me?
Yeah. Do you have one of your favorites?
I think one of my favorites has got to be one where we talked about purpose, which is probably not only one episode, but maybe a couple of episodes. And I
That's fine.
remember sharing a snippet of this, and actually it got a lot of traction on TikTok. And we talked about just purpose and being confident to step out in your purpose, because if we're having confidence culture conversations, one of the things we really want to be doing is to be confident, but we don't want you to be confident in being somebody else or to be confident in someone else's skin. We want you to be confident as you. What is your purpose? What are the things that make you smile, the things that make you cry? You need to be bold and confident about that. And I think when we look back, that's also evident in some of the things that we're doing. Like we're having to be confident in stepping out in the different businesses we're doing, in fulfilling our purpose. Like I saw Kirubai's post the other day when she went to a college, and I'm like, come on, Kirubai. I was cheering her on when I saw the post, because I can see like how Kirubai has even grown and stepped out more in the things she's doing. And even for myself, I'm like, I don't care no more. I'm stepping out, I'm being bold, I'm doing what I gotta do, and I don't care who has anything to say about it, because as long as I'm being faithful to do what I need to do, then that's all right.
Mm-mm. Yeah, it's very true, Elizabeth, because um, her growth is tripled. Personal growth has tripled for me, and
Mm,
I'm grateful for people who are around. I can seek counsel, and sometimes there are times where I ask Elizabeth, "Is this is the way to do it?" We are always constantly learning. I think
mm,
when you stop learning, you die. Everything, your purpose, your calling, your destiny dies, because your purpose, destiny, and your calling is a growing reality.
mm.
The the operative word is growing reality. So till you die, it is growing. It's growing. It's taking shape. It's taking shape. So episode 42, we talked about, did you know the hardest person to lead is yourself?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it ties in very well. It's easy for us to go and go live and do podcasts or write a blog. But you know what? We have to be very, very conscientious that we must walk our talk.
Mm.
People are watching. People are
That's it.
watching. People are watching. People are watching. People are watching. People are watching. So it's quite um we have to be very conscious. Elizabeth, can you give me 2 minutes? I'm just going to step out of the live. Somebody is urgently trying to call me. Is it all right?
Fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll
So
just leave for a bit. You continue.
absolutely. So while we just focus and continue the conversation around reflecting on the different kind of conversations that we've had, I remember one of the conversations that we had was on forgiveness. Now, I won't quote you the exact episode it was, but you can go on my YouTube or Kirubai's YouTube and you'll be able to find the different episodes on there. But we had an episode that was on forgiveness. And in that episode, I remember Kirubai shared her story. She talked about how she had to go through a journey of forgiving. We talked about forgiveness and being able to let go, and that was a powerful episode. That was a powerful episode. Kirubai, I just said how you shared your story on forgiveness, and how that was one of our sort of powerful, sort of reflective episodes, because we had to look introspectively at ourselves and kind of look at what we needed to let go of so we can move forward.
Yeah. Um, that was actually a very emotional episode for me, because every time I tell the story of forgiveness, it takes me into another level of saying I'm truly, truly in a place. of releasing forgiveness to that person.
Hmm.
And I think it is God's purpose that, you know, it, it's God's purpose that we, whoever is harmed us or hurt us or offended us, we have to come to a point and say, hey, let's forgive each other and move on. When we say that, we are God, it's like we are going into another level of saying, I'm happy to forgive you. And it has to come from deep within your heart. I'm happy to forgive you. It's not easy, man. It's not easy at all. So yeah, I mean, that was one of those very emotional um what's that episodes. But even on your part, Elizabeth, when you shared about your brother, your late brother, it's
Oh
very
yeah.
emotional.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my days. Yeah, just like I think that was an episode where we're talking about dealing with grief
Yes,
or
that's right.
something like that. And it's important for us to acknowledge grief. Sometimes, hi Funke, thank you for joining us. Sometimes there are things that happen in life that we want to slide over. We want to sweep under the carpet. We don't want to deal with. But the reality is the thing has happened. And unless we embrace it, unless we confront it, unless we deal with it, then we can never move forward. We will think we have moved forward, but in reality, we haven't moved forward because that thing is still there. And I think I remember talking about like baggage, like we're carrying baggage. And it's like you're constantly walking around with this weight, with this baggage on you. And until you are willing to release that baggage, your journey going forward is not as swift. You're not going to go forward fast when you've got so much weight and so much baggage. And the reality is, we all have some baggage we are carrying. We all have some issues, but we need to be willing to address and confront those issues so we can pave a way forward.
Because the baggage will weigh you down and then you can't move forward. Is that what you're saying, Elizabeth?
That's it. I'm saying that. Or you can look at it this way. When you are holding on to the baggage, it's like you are holding on to something in your hands, right? And because your hands are occupied, because you're holding on to this thing, your hands will not be able to let go to hold on to the new thing. There's a verse in the Bible that talks about God doing a new thing. And when God is doing a new thing, if you stay focused on the old thing, you miss the new thing that God is doing. So, for all of us, we all have trauma, we all have issues. Don't worry, there's nobody in this world who has not been through some sort of trauma or some sort of issues in their life. We all have that. But if you hold on so much to those things, because some of us can allow our trauma and our past experiences to become our idol. We can allow it to become our crutch. We can allow it to become the thing that we always go back to. We can allow it to become our excuse. But you have to be willing to confront it, to deal with it, to let go and move forward. There are people who are stuck in a cycle. But until you choose to break the cycle, until you choose to let go of the trauma, the baggage, the bitterness, the unforgiveness, you don't get to move forward. You don't get to embrace the new thing that God is doing. I'm going to stop because I might go into a preach. Kirubai, over to you.
Come on, go for it, my dear. Preach
She
it
said,
on. Preach it on.
no, do you know what? We have to, sometimes you have to stop and ask yourself, why does this keep happening? Why do I always keep coming back to this? Why do I
Cycle. Yeah.
always seem to make this excuse? Why do I always seem to get stuck at this point? What is it? Like, be willing to address the elephant in the room. We cannot
Mm.
ignore the elephant in the room. If we are going to move forward in life, if we are going to, you can look at this also from a relationships perspective. The Bible says, how can two walk together lest they agree? So if you are carrying this weight, this baggage, and it's slowing you down, it slows the both of you from moving forward. And you have to be willing to say, hang on a minute, I need to deal with my issues. I need to let go of some stuff so we can move forward properly, so we can move forward in the right motion. But we need to be willing to let go. Now, for me, One of the issues we started off was grief, having to let go. Now there's a lot of people, like everyone, every day somebody dies. This is the reality of life. Every day somebody dies. There is somebody out there who has lost a loved one. But how do we move on beyond the grief? How do we move on beyond losing a loved one? You have to deal with it. You have to confront it. You have to accept it, that this is the reality, and you learn how to do life. But you have to be willing to let go.
Learning to do life, something that suddenly it kind of hit a very soft nerve within me. Learning to do life is is I know many of you know that we are women of faith. So learning to do life alone is difficult, but
Mm,
learning to do life with Jesus, and with the power of the Holy Spirit, it is actually, let me not dismiss the pain or the sorrow that you go through, but it gets a lot easier because we have the comforter who helps us.
mm,
So learning to do life, doing it alone, it's painful. Doing it alone is painful. In the same way, your grief. And episode 7, we spoke about insecurities.
hmm,
And learning to deal with life with our insecurities can be very daunting. It is, it can be daunting because insecurities, like what Elizabeth said, that if the cycle keeps repeating and the insecurities keep coming, and a lot of people are suffering from mental health, anxiety. I just heard from someone who was very prosperous. Suddenly, the wife goes into the room and she saw her husband committed suicide. There must have something that must have triggered he's not very young, but a gentleman who worked very hard for his family. So these are insecurities that you got to just sit down, reflect, and see, and most of all, get someone to
mm,
talk. Don't hit the bottle. Don't hit drugs. Don't go join a gang and beat up people because of your insecurities, your pain, your sorrow, the scars in your life. Talk to someone. There's so much available. You can call in, befriend us, so many people. But you know what? More and more people just want to be recluse. Don't be. I beg of you.
Kirubai, can we stay on this for a moment?
Sure.
This month is Mental Health
That's,
Awareness Month,
that's right. That's
and
right.
the theme for this year has been community.
Mm,
Now, just like Kirubai says, we're begging you, don't suffer in silence. Don't suffer in silence. There are lots of things that can affect our mental health. Sometimes we are fond of going into a shell when we are going through stuff. But that very shell can be the thing that suffocates you. That very shell can be the thing that knocks you out. That very shell can be the thing that stops you from getting help when you need the help. The sad reality is that we look around us today and there are lots of people going through mental health struggles, whether they care to admit it or not. There's a rise in the suicide rates.
mm.
A few weeks ago, my dad sent me a message, and he's in Uganda at the moment, and he said it's really bad. There's every so often you're hearing a young person has taken their lives, a young person has taken their lives. To what end? We need to be people who thrive in community, in the sense that we are looking out for each other, but on a personal level, don't allow yourself to suffer in silence and never reach out for help. The thought that the world would be a better place without you. That is one of the things that a lot of people embrace, and they end up taking their lives. But it leaves a lot of unanswered questions for their loved ones. So whatever you're dealing with, find windows of opportunity to communicate, to engage with the people around you. Whether it's just meeting up for a cup of coffee, whether it's you're meeting up online to have a conversation, or you are just meeting up in person to just have a conversation, have an opportunity where you have somebody that you can talk to, or you can be the listening ear for somebody else. Because people are going through stuff. Pray for somebody, be there, check in on them. I got into this. I think this year, one of the things I was reminded of was, if a name pops into your mind, reach out to them, say a prayer for them, because you don't know why that name has come into your mind. And I don't think I shared this with anybody. I think I shared it with my husband only. But there was some time, a couple of months ago, I had a dream. And in that dream, there was someone my circle, within my circle. And this person, we got news that this person had passed away. In the morning, I woke up and I was a bit disturbed. I called the person, I messaged the person, I said, "Are you okay? Just want to check in on you." I prayed for that person because I don't know what the dream was about. But I just thought, pray for that person, reach out to that person, make sure that they know that that you are there if they need to talk. I know sometimes we have the weight of the world on our shoulders and we are going through stuff and we don't have space or capacity to listen into other people's issues. But one of the things I like to refer to in the Bible is where the Bible talks about doing unto others what you would have them do unto you. Sometimes we say nobody reaches out to me. Go onto your phone book, reach out to 10 people. Don't sit around complaining nobody's reaching out to you. Get your phone out and reach out to 3 people, 10 people. Just send them a message. Hi, just thinking about you. Just want to check in and see how you are. You never know. They might ignore you. They might come back and say, "I'm fine," and finish it there. Or they might come back and say, "Thank you so much for reaching out to me. I was in a dump and your message lifted me up." Get into the habit of sending someone an encouraging message. You don't know the difference it's going to make to them because you don't know the pit they might be in or the valley they might be in. But be an encourager. Don't sit around complaining no one is reaching out, no one is checking in on you. You pick up your phone, you check in. Do unto others what you'd have them do unto you. Let's look out for each other. Let's really do community in a way that it makes a difference, that it positively impacts people. Now I get it. There are times you can reach out to somebody and they'll ignore you, they'll ignore you, they'll ignore you. Sometimes it's a sign that they're going through something. Sometimes they've moved on. They have other people checking in on them. Okay. But don't be so enclosed in your own world that you forget that there are other people around you.
Just for information's sake, thank you for that sharing. For information's sake, a statistic says, as of 2024, between the ages of 45 to 64, the suicide rate is for every 100,000 people, 13.3 suicide deaths are found. So it is not considered high, but it is significant. If not, they won't be doing the statistics and talking a lot about suicide these days.
Mm.
Life is being given to you as a gift. Don't take it away from yourself. So why that age bracket? I don't know. 45 to 64. Maybe they lack confidence. They have a lot of security insecurities. Uh, Aging, maybe they feel they're getting on with age and not accomplished much in life. I'm a late bloomer. I'm a testament to it. You know, age can never be your barrier.
Mm.
There's always something that you can go into and learn or do something, bless someone. Yes, don't be sitting on the backstage and or taking the back pew and not doing anything and making an impact. Just one person. And you know that one person that you impact can impact 1,000 people.
Mm.
Maybe that one person is your assignment. So don't make these things, don't take it lightly. That's what I
Mm.
say. Don't take it lightly at all because you do not know what you carry inside, the power that is within you.
And even your story can be used to lift others up. And I think we've talked
Exactly.
about this, like having the confidence to share your story. On
Yeah.
Saturday, the event we went to, there was a gentleman who spoke, um, and he spoke about how his son got stabbed a couple of years ago.
Wow.
But the thing that is driving him now is he wants to help others so they don't have to go through the pain that he went through. And he literally said it in the room. He said, I want to get into as many schools as possible to speak to the young people.
Wow. How powerful is that?
And you know that power and that strength is coming from like embracing what he went through and learning along the way so that he can be empowered to help others. So what we go through is not wasted. The things that you have been through doesn't have to be wasted. It can be the very thing that lifts others up. And whether that's in you sharing your story in a book, on a podcast, on social media, whatever it is, but there is power in your story. We don't share our stories to pull others down. We don't share our stories to bring shame on people. We share our stories to empower others. We share our stories to show others that there is a way out. We share our stories to lift others up. It's not just about bringing shame on others, or pointing a bad finger at other people, but it's to tell others that yes, you might be broken, but broken crayons still color. You can still do life.
And I'm so glad that gentleman who lost the son used his voice.
Mm.
And our episode 32 talks about how your voice can be an influence. So, ladies and gents, if you're watching this, it's never too late to speak up.
Mm.
If you got nothing to speak up, you can speak up for someone, be an advocate for someone else. But don't shy away. Be assertive. If you see something wrong has been done in your neighborhood, in your community, in the at the bus stop, the tube station, speak up.
Mm.
Speak up with, I mean, have a little bit of a have a decorum. Don't pick up a fight, but just speak up for someone else who is not able to speak.
Mm.
You be that voice. And to be that voice, you need confidence. And it's so important to pick the courage to speak up. Maybe when I initially came to this country, I was a bit shy. And
Mm.
nowadays, if I see anything wrong being done anywhere, I just go and speak up.
Mm. Speaking up can be scary in the times that we're living in, Kirubai.
Mm.
But I think, like you said, we need to master the confidence to speak up. And whether it's to
Love.
speak up to someone else, to help us get the word out.
Yeah.
It's it's having, I guess, the wisdom as well.
Yes, that's
You
right.
know, in the times that we're in today, sadly, speaking up can cost you your life.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sad reality. Speaking up can cost you your life. You know, I have extreme examples, right? An example I could use is, people who speak up against political leaders. I know in Uganda they hear a lot of people disappearing.
Yeah.
As you start to speak up, all of a sudden you disappear. And no one can explain where the person has disappeared to.
Well, it's happened in Malaysia too.
And that's the sad reality of the world that we live in. But at some point, someone has to stand up, right? Someone has to speak up. I remember a few weeks ago, me and Tunji and Janaya were walking and we saw a young man I'm going to say he was being bullied. He was being bullied right in front of our eyes. And we couldn't help but speak up. Like a righteous anger rose up in us. And we couldn't help but speak up. And the way this situation literally just transpired in front of us, like there was a young man that was like strangling him from the back, and we literally came behind and we pulled the hand that was strangling off and said, can you stop doing that? Now, we could have said, let's walk away because these kids can stab us, because that's what they do nowadays, that you don't know what they're
Mhm.
carrying. So that's why I said it can cost you your life. But your values and you being a person of integrity, you being a person of character, can cause you to speak up. When we are out and about and we see people, let's say they're smoking on the tube and they shouldn't be. There's a lot of people who vape on the tube and they shouldn't be. Being able to speak up because it's not right. So finding the balance between, I'm going to stay silent now because I don't feel safe, and actually speaking up because someone has to speak up, like that's important. And just, there might be someone watching today who you might find yourself in an abusive relationship.
Mm.
You have a voice. I know it might look like you don't have a voice, but I want to tell you that you have a voice. And there has to be a courage that rises up on the inside of you so you can speak up. It might mean that you get yourself out of that situation first and then you speak up. But do what you need to do. Don't suffer in silence. A few years ago, we had of a Nigerian gospel singer who sadly passed away. And it then transpired, or it came out, that she was being abused at home. The whole story came out, and it was sad to hear. A life wasted. If she had spoken up, maybe she would still be alive.
True.
But we talk about speaking up, like, a few days ago, it was 5 years since George Floyd lost his life. Someone had to speak up. George Floyd spoke up in that moment. He was asking for his mom, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. Not sure.
Like, we have to speak up. We have to speak up. Don't suffer in silence. Find somebody you can speak to. Find a trusted ear who will listen and point you in the right direction. Don't suffer in silence. Your voice is important, and your voice can empower the next generation. Your voice can unlock a key for the next generation. Your voice carries weight. And for those who are spiritually inclined, in the Hebraic calendar, we're in the decade of the mouth. So what
Yeah.
flows from our
Big.
mouth is so important. The Bible talks about life and death is in the power of the tongue. With your words, you can kill. With your words, you can
Build.
lift up. You can
Mhm.
build. Choose to build. Make a decision to build because your voice is important. Your voice carries so much weight. You might think that nobody needs to hear your voice, but trust me, there is somebody out there who needs to hear your voice. Just take that word. There is somebody that needs to hear your voice. Yes, it may be hard, but speak up. Speak up. And as you're speaking up, teach your children to speak up. Don't just silence them every single time. Teach them to be bold enough to speak up. When they're in school, let them speak up. When something is being done to them that shouldn't be done, teach them to speak up. Don't shut them down. We have a habit of doing that, especially in particular cultures. We shut down our children, but that shouldn't, we don't empower them when we shut them down. We empower them by giving them a voice, by encouraging them to speak up. Your voice is important. Your voice carries weight. Your voice can be the very thing that unlocks somebody. So speak up, use your voice.
Shall we go for one more before we
Let's do
call
one
it a
more.
day? So, another one of the topics that we always speak and always try to bring it into our conversation, it's about resilience.
Mm.
And Elizabeth, you're the resilience coach. So, what is your take on resilience, Elizabeth?
Whew, resilience. I think a lot of what we've talked about already really brings in the idea of resilience. Resilience is really about being able to bounce back from the situations that affect us. And I
Mhm.
like to cling on to the quote: "When life gives you lemons, make lemonade."
It's okay.
Life happens to all of us. It rains, it shines. It happens to all of us. But we have to remember that we were not made to stay down.
Mhm.
We were not made to stay in the pit. We were not made to stay in the valley. That's not what we were made for. So there is always more. So even when you find yourself down in the dumps, remember that there is more and reach out for that more. Connect with others, because that's one of the things that helps us to be resilient is the community we have around us, the voices we are listening to. Plug into activities that empower you, activities that enrich you, no activities that just suck the life out of you, but activities that look like you're filling up your cup, activities where you're impacting others and you're happy about it. We all need to be resilient. Our resilience helps us to get through, and our resilience is evident when we hit bad times, when we hit the valleys, when we hit the pit. It's evident whether we are resilient or not. But we need to be resilient, and we need to teach our children to be resilient. It's not just about you as a parent being resilient, but empower your kids to be resilient so that when they fail an exam, they bounce back. They don't give up on life because they failed an exam. So that when a friend rejects them, they don't give up on befriending other people, but they're still full of life. Teach your children to be resilient, and you be resilient as a parent, as an auntie, as an uncle. Do things that help you to build your resilience. And one of the things that will help you to build your resilience is personal growth, growing yourself, investing in yourself. We talk a lot about investing in yourself, getting a coach, getting a mentor. That is so important. It can help you in building your resilience. A lot of us don't realize we are resilient. But if you have been through something and you have come back from that thing, you're resilient. You're resilient.
We bounce back. And there's no place like you being in the valley and also in the mountaintop. Both experiences help you.
Mm,
When you're in the valley, you are learning some great lessons. When in the mountain, you are actually laying those lessons out for you to scale up higher and higher. So both the lessons are important to build your resilience as you seek to go into new things, new beginnings, and new ventures, new businesses, new relationships,
mm,
and everything that is new. We will be entering into our 6 month of our 2025, and this year has, you know, gone so fast. Days are just going by, but what have we accomplished? What have we got through? Is there anything that you have not you've desired in the beginning of the year and you have yet not gone through? It's not too late.
mm,
You know, embarking on something new. So Elizabeth and I are, as you both, as you know, that we are both coaches in different things. So we are happy to help. We are happy to um, coach you. We are each expert in our own fields. Elizabeth is great in her putting you in touch with how you can thrive in something that you're going to start new. And I take the approach of working through your insecurities and your personal brand. So we have a good combination going on here. So what is your need? There is an offering going on. And I will say this. We're sorry to say that the next 1 month we're going to take a break. So that's all my fault because I'm traveling. So, but you know what? We are all reachable through emails, phones, mobiles, any part of the world. We are connected. The earth
mm.
is become so small now. With globalization, we are all over the world. We can work from any part of the world. So reach out to us and say that you need some help. Invest in yourself.
Absolutely. Invest in yourself. You can't go wrong in doing it. You can't go wrong. And like Kirubai said, yes, we are going to be off for a month, but on Kirubai's YouTube page, on my YouTube page, you can find episode 1 to episode 97. So
Mhm.
feel free to just go and find one and watch it. Comment, send us your feedback. And if you're watching this or you've been watching us silently, please send us some comments, send us some feedback. It would be great to hear from you. Let us know where you're watching from. It'd be great to connect with you. And you know um if you run any community groups for women, or you have a community that you'd like us to come and speak to come and empower, please feel free to also reach out to us. So as much as we do our coaching businesses separate, we also run a confidence culture conversations community interest company. And we want to be able to empower your community. So you have a community that needs empowering. Let's do it through conversation. Let's do it through some creative activities. Let's do it through we talked about the power of your voice. Let's do it through those conversations, because in some of our communities, we are silent. Voices are not being heard. But we want to create safe spaces where we can come and have conversations that empower, conversations that uplift, conversations that help us to grow in our confidence, and not just help us individually, but as we grow ourselves individually, it grows our communities. That's what we're about. Through conversation, we empower you and you empower your community. So feel free to reach out to us through social media or via email, and we'll be more than happy to get in touch with you. We'll be more than happy, whether it's to do something in person, something online, or you want to fly us out to your country. Hey, we're ready. We're ready to
Like that.
come. We're ready to come. So feel free to reach out to us. And thank you to everyone who has contributed to these conversations in one way or another, through your comments, through your engagement, through sharing these videos. It makes a difference. It makes a difference. Just sharing it makes a difference. Your comment, your like, it makes a difference. So subscribe, follow us, subscribe to our YouTube channels, follow us on the different platforms. We'll be more than happy to engage with you. And I think that's enough from me. So we will see you back in a few weeks' time. But like I say, we're still on social media, so please don't hesitate to engage with us. But for now, God bless you.
Bye bye.